Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is the first video you've ever seen on Travel with Wiseguy. I'm gonna just do a random road trip today and visit a bunch of ghost towns. And in terms of what a ghost town, I'm gonna define a ghost town today. I'm gonna just kind of consider it anything that's, unincorporated, not an official town. I did a video about what is a ghost town with my buddy Kurt. So if you're kind of curious as to definitions of a ghost town, it's not something necessarily that's completely abandoned. Sometimes there's some people that live there. Sometimes it used to be a town. It's now unincorporated. Sometimes it used to have a post office. Now it doesn't. So anything in that category, we're going to consider a ghost town for this video. And I'm going to use my Kansas DeLorme Atlas and Gazetteer. A lot of people ask me when I show the maps what I use, and this is most of the time what I use. So let me show you where we're at. So this is the part of the world I'm in. There's Junction City, Manhattan, there's Chapman, and we're gonna go to the first dot on the map is gonna be right there, Wreford. No idea what it is, no idea if there's anything left. I'm gonna go there, and then we're gonna head south and check out Skiddy, and then we'll have to go to another map for the next town. Our first stop is Wreford or Wreford. I know that I got it wrong. It probably is neither one of those. So maybe somebody in the comments can help us figure out what the pronunciation of this town is. So not much here. I'm in the cemetery, which is a nice cemetery. And this town got started because of the railroad. You'll find that a lot in Kansas. And the community started because a Civil War veteran started a store here, lived here, and he named the town after his brother who had died in the Civil War. And so community developed, and they had about 75 people here. And then the railroad depot was closed. They would just drop off the mail by throwing it off the train. And if you needed to catch the train, you would stand in the middle of the tracks and kind of flag the train down so they would stop if you needed to hop on the train. So now it's just a small community. There are some houses here, a few people, maybe 10, and interesting little town. Skiddy was founded in 1869 by settlers from Pennsylvania and New Jersey. With the arrival of the Missouri, Kansas, and Texas Railway, the town was named for Francis Skiddy, a New York investor who financed the railroad. In exchange for naming the town after him, Skiddy volunteered to build a town hall for the community. Skiddy became the first train station south of Junction City, and a water tower was built there because of steep grades on the line built north and south of town. In that first year, only one general store was built, and a post office was established in November. In March 1879, the citizens of the small town changed its name to Camden because Skiddy had never built the town hall he had promised. The town grew slowly and had about 120 people in 1880. In 1883, the town's name reverted back to Skiddy because there were too many other Camdens in the nation. In 1910, the population was 90. By then, the town grew no more, and its post office closed in 1953. Figure out where we're going to go next. We're just kind of on the next page up to the north and west of White City there, and so if we come down, I've been to Latimer before, so let's go on down to Delavan and maybe Burdick. Make those our next two stops. So we're on a pretty busy road. It's not too busy today, but US Highway 56 here goes right through Delavan. And so it's interesting that it's basically a ghost town now. There's a couple old buildings. There's a little community center, firehouse type area, a few houses. There's some foundations here, so you can tell there was more than there was. You know, there was a post office here till 1992. So that's kind of interesting. It's not that long ago they had a post office here. It was always a pretty small community, had 50 to 100 people in the early 1900s, and looked like it was kind of heading to ghost town status in the 1930s and 40s near the Great Depression. But then Harrington, which is a nearby small town, they put in a Army air base, and so that created some jobs to help build that. But then a couple years later, the base closed after World War II. So then the school closed here and headed towards ghost town status not too long after that. But interesting to see what's left. So after that fun little drive on the back roads, I found this road and I was heading to the next town, which will be down that way. But right here, off to the side, innocently enough, is the 6 Mile Stage Station, and a marker, Santa Fe Trail marker, because we're right on the Santa Fe Trail. In 1865, Mr. Hartwell bought the stage station for a post office from 1863 to 1866. A log cabin, grocery, a corral, and stable. So there's nothing over here. I mean, there's a couple old buildings back there, but I don't think that had anything to do with the stage station. But yeah, right here on the Santa Fe Trail, it's a pretty important stop. Burdick was first settled by Swedish immigrants from Illinois in 1880. Before that time, a few Russian Mennonites settled in the area in the late 1870s, tried to raise wheat, but got discouraged and moved westward. When the Swedes arrived in the area, they had a different opinion, decided to stay, and encouraged others to join them. They called their new community Linsdale. In 1887, the settlement became a station on the Strong City and Superior Division of the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railroad. When a post office was established in 1887, the town's name was changed to Burdick in honor of Miss Burdick, the girlfriend of a Santa Fe Railroad official. During the first 2 decades of the 20th century, Burdick attracted large crowds for rodeos, fairs, baseball games, display of farm products, and other entertainment. By 1910, the town had a population of about 225 people, boasted a bank, a money order post office, telegraph, express offices, and several churches. However, in the following decades, the population fell, and the high school closed its doors in 1957. In 1996, the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway merged with the Burlington Northern Railroad, but the railroad no longer runs through Burdick, and the tracks have been removed. The Burdick Meat Locker is a family-owned business since 1921, known for its meat processing, beef jerky, and potato sausage. It still has a post office, and the area remains a farming and cattle ranching area. we flipped over the page. Burdick is over there on the next page to our right on BB Avenue that goes into Lost Springs. So we've done a video previously about Lost Springs and Lincolnville. So let's go down to check out Antelope and Pilsen. I don't know, maybe Mud Creek. I'm not sure if there's anything there, but yeah, let's go check out a couple of those places just to the west of 77. We took some interesting roads over that historic bridge to get here to Antelope. And they've got a few old buildings. Very cool. They got a elevator back over there. This was another one of those towns that they had a post office till 1988. And it had started in 1870. So old community, never was really very large, named for the antelope that would be grazing in the area. But yeah, it's definitely hidden over here. Not too many people visit today. Pilsen was founded in 1874 and named by Bohemian immigrants to honor the city of Pilsen of Bohemia. The area was settled by 46 Bohemian families of Czech and German descent who purchased their land from the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway. In 1888, the first Catholic church was built. Up until 1902, the community was centered around a general store that was located approximately a mile and a half south of this current site. After the store closed in 1902, a new store was built at this current site and continued to operate until 1944. Pilsen's post office opened in 1917 and ran until 1957. The current St. John Catholic Church was built in 1914. Train carloads of brick were ordered from Kansas City, then delivered to the closest station in Lincolnville. The pile of bricks in Pilsen were so large that people often joked, "How many churches are you going to build?" The church cost approximately $30,000, but the cost would have been higher if it had not been for local volunteer labor. In the early 1940s, Emil Capon was a pastor at the church. This is going to be our last stop of the day here at Mud Creek, and had a post office here for about 13 years, 1873 to 1886, and there's nothing here anymore except the creek. And you look at those years, there's not a lot of information about, why, something like Mud Creek existed or what happened to it. But you can guess by kind of the timing is that the railroad probably didn't come through here in the 1880s. There weren't roads really out in this desolate part of Kansas. There might have been some trails, and that's why here along what is Muddy Creek, there probably could have been a small community, and all that's left here is the creek. So if the railroad bypassed the town and these roads wouldn't have come until much later, then it would have been really difficult for towns to exist. So anyways, that's the end of our little trip. I like ending it here on a place that has literally nothing remaining. That's a true, authentic ghost town. Hope you enjoyed it. Pretty random, but it just goes to show you can find some really cool places. We found some cool unincorporated communities / ghost towns and some great old historic buildings. Now that you made it to the end of that video, let me tell you about some of the extras on the channel. One of the things you can do is become a member. There are 3 levels of support. There's supporter, producer, and executive producer levels. All 3 have different levels of fun incentives and perks. If you haven't done so, please check out travelwiththewiseguy.com. There are lots of extras on there to explore. One of them is merchandise. We have Travel with the Wise Guy coffee mugs, Death Go Round t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and all sorts of fun things to show your support of this channel. Also on the website is a custom Google map. I've dropped pins in every place I've visited and linked the episode to each location. This seems to be a very popular feature for many of you. Also, sign up for my free newsletter that goes out about once a month. There are all sorts of links and tidbits on this page, old videos, podcasts, and just about everything I can think of I throw on the website. For all that information and more, go to travelwiththewiseguy.com. And now, the reason you're probably here, the outtakes. Burdick has the classic old playground equipment. It's the kind of stuff I played on as a kid. We found one. Wasn't sure I was going to find one today. Very well reinforced. A little squeaky. A little squeak, a little wobble. Solid. I like it. We're going to miss 6.8. Hey guys. You guys are just doing your job, protecting the neighborhood. Hey guy, how are you? Hey, buddy. We're now in Pilsen in an all red, large Death Go Round. Very solid. It's very quiet here, so I'm trying not to make too much noise. Very, very good. 7.6.